Hey guys, so the other day I got chatting with Logan Trueblood on the Facebook group, and he was asking me if I'd ever considered doing a Q&A video. So I was like, I said it's something that I thought about, but I didn't know if anyone would be interested in it. So I started up a poll. Everyone went for yes. Some of them decided to vote for me to get naked, but that's not going to be happening anytime soon. We haven't created the Pornhub channel just yet for FYM, have we? That's one to wait for all the ladies, all the guys out there, if you swing that way. Right, okay. So I created this, as you can see here, to get everyone to get involved and ask me some questions. See, if you want to get involved more, man, come over to the Facebook group. We do stuff like this all the time. This is how I end up getting all the ideas for the content to put out. Anyway, so the first question comes from my buddy Espen Wrong, and he asks, in my opinion, what was the best year for music and why? Now, this is a really tricky one, man, because when I first got into metal, it was the new metal era, and I absolutely loved those years, and there's been many years since that have just been absolutely awesome. I'd say purely because it wasn't when social media was such a massive thing, would have been when it was the MySpace years. So when the Download Festival first started running for the first couple of years, I can't remember what fucking years they were, man. I don't know. Something around like 2004 to 2007, maybe, was it? Maybe even before then. I don't know, man. Just look when the first few Download Festivals were. Because we weren't so fixated at that point on constantly posting on social media, letting everyone know where we are. Don't get me wrong, I love social media, man. If it wasn't for social media, this wouldn't be what it is. I wouldn't be able to get you all involved as much as I do. But then on the other hand, I could at the same time say that now is the best time for music because we can discover it so much more easily. And with technology being what it is, it's so easy for bands, if they've got that technology there, to just get something out there, which is, I mean, you can get studio quality now from just like recording at home, which is crazy. So it's a tricky one, man. It's going to be either be back in the era of like when bands like Mudvayne were getting big, all around about now, man, because the market for metal is just crazy now. There's so many different styles out there. So that's a really tricky one, man. I find that very hard to answer, but it's one of the two, somewhere between the two. So let's have a look. What have we got next? So Peter Bartlett asks, what's my first memory of listening to music? Where was it, and how did it affect you? My first memory would be because I don't know whether you all know if you've come into the live feeds and stuff, but I was brought up by my grandparents, so a lot of the music which I heard when I was a kid was, wasn't like metal or anything like that. The first music I ever remember hearing would have been, it was an ABBA Gold album because my folks absolutely played that to death, man. I can't really remember how it like made me feel. It was just something which seemed fun to listen to, really. It wasn't until I got a lot older that I started to properly connect with music, really. But yeah, like growing up, the sort of things which were on rotation in my house was ABBA, Frankie Lane, Pavarotti, some random like Spanish album that they had on tape, with this song called Play Bazooki, which is just hilarious to listen to now. But yeah, that's what I grew up with, man. Let's have a look. I suppose, how did it affect me? Certainly in terms of now, Peter, it just reminds me of a much simpler time. Um, I just enjoyed it. It just brings me like happy feeling of growing up because I did have a very happy life growing up as a kid. I was very fortunate that my grandparents brought me up. But yeah, man, it's just happy times. Whereas now we got like responsibility and shit, which just isn't as fun really. Anyway, Richie Ratchet asks, what metal band inspires me the most? Bloody hell, man. Oof. It'd probably have to be Hatebreed, man, to be perfectly honest. Ever since discovering them and then getting into the lyrics, I spotted that they're all about being positive, and even if you've had something bad happen to you in your life, don't let that rule you. Like, always better yourself, which is something I try to do on a daily basis. I always try to be as positive as I possibly can. Everyone's always going to get the days where they don't feel great, emotionally. You might have things that you want, or there might be certain aspects of your life that you're not happy with. But the only way you're going to change that is by going through the next day and the next day and the next day and just pushing forward, man. And that's something which will stay for me for the rest of my life. And Hatebreed are just fucking brilliant, man. Absolutely brilliant. I love that they do that in the music. It's a great message to put across. So next up, Logan Trueblood, who also has a channel called Logan's Reactions. Go and check him out, man. I speak to him on a regular basis. He's quite active in the group as well, which is cool. Okay, so he asked me, what band or album has got you through hard times? There's quite a number of them, man. Still happens on a monthly basis if I'm struggling with anything. So albums which I call my coping mechanism albums, which I'll put on. It's a weird one, man, because if you're already feeling a bit down in the dumps, they sort of send you even lower, but then they start to bring me back up again. It's really weird. Like when I'm sad, I might listen to like sad songs, which will start to make me happy. It's really fucking weird. Fuck knows what's going on up here, man. It's probably fucked. You'd see the thoughts that go in my head, man. Fuck me. So there's quite a number of them actually. So the main one has always been Cold, A Different Kind of Pain. I think that's a fantastic album. Then what else do I usually put on? The first Tremonti album recently actually. That got me through a very tough point. I basically needed to break away from a certain point of my life and start again. And that sort of helped me to be able to do that. What else has there been? I don't know if I mentioned Stained. Pretty much any of the first few Stained albums, they always helped me through. And as of late, the new Dream State EP, man. That I mean, I play that every fucking day at the moment, like constantly. But I can see myself if I need a bit of like motivation or something, that'll certainly help. Specifically the track New Waves, I think it's fantastic. It really, really is. The emotion she puts out in that is amazing. There's so many to mention, man. Seven Dust again, like the Animosity album. That's helped me massively. It's always one of those that I always put on. And Bring Me the Horizon, Sempiternal. The list, I could just fucking go on, man. I'd probably have to do a separate video to like list everything for it, to be fair. But I'm more than happy to I'll put it out in the group or something, man. Okay, then got my girl Cheryl Talkington, one of the first few people into the group actually. Now, she asked me, where would I most like to see, she means Prometheum, bless her, see Prometheum expand on or try. Now, for those of you that don't know, I'm in a band called Prometheum. Now, how would I like to see us expand on or try? I've been telling our singer for ages he needs to get a fucking bleh in a song, and it's never going to fucking happen. I don't even think he really gets the whole bleh thing, to be honest. If you're watching this, Steve, let me know. I'd quite like to go into more of a direction of what I tried to achieve with the current album, because I think I managed to get like one or two little breakdowns in. obviously I'm like a massive, I love like metalcore, hardcore, beatdown, stuff like that. So I'd love to try something like that. And our other guitarist actually likes quite a bit of hardcore stuff. More you like more your old school hardcore, like Terror, stuff like that. So it'd be really cool to maybe try something like that. But we all have loads of different influences, so the sound that always comes out, it differs from 1 month to the next if we're writing anything. Um, but yeah, that's why I'd quite like to see it go. Doesn't necessarily have to be heavier. I certainly would. I'm not too keen on going into the more. I like how we're swaying more towards metal these days than a sort of hard rock that we were labelled with previously. That's just me personally. I'm probably still going to love anything that we ever do because it's just fun. We're like a bunch of brothers, man. Everyone like looks after each other. Or if you're Rossi just hates everyone, which is hilarious. He loves us really. He's a big cuddly He's a big cuddly teddy bear that doesn't want anyone to touch him. It's quite funny. Let's have a look. And as you said, see there, Espen Wrong already put bleh to it. He already read my fucking mind, man. Daniel Elkins, is mayonnaise an instrument? What do you fucking say to that, man, really? Don't think so, man. I don't know. I suppose if you put a mic next to some mayonnaise and shoved your fingers or something else in and out of it, it's going to make a fucking sound. So technically you could call it an instrument. Oh, there, but then he says, but for real, what's my guilty pleasure songs? Oh, man, right. Okay. So, not so much lately, but every now and again, I will put on like the odd Take That song. And at one point, I did like listening to. There was this song off fucking iCarly. Miranda Cosgrove's got a song called "Headphones On." It's so cheesy and it's so pop, but it's just a fucking catchy song, man. And bollocks to it, man. I don't care. I don't mind admitting that I like that song. I've not really listened to it lately, man. Guilty pleasures, really. It's a funny one because I can't really say that I'm guilty of. I don't feel guilty for anything that I listen to. If I like it, I like it. But it is generally always like rock or metal. Yeah, guilty pleasure is a tricky one, man. I can't really say there's anything in my like different Spotify playlists or any music that I have on my PC that if somebody saw it, I'd be embarrassed because I wouldn't. I just like what I like, man. Okay, who have we got next? Chris Warland. After receiving so many requests and having been exposed to so much music, which band or genre do you think is going to be the next big thing? That's so hard, man. The next big thing. I think next big thing to me, say, comes out with something like, Linkin Park or Limp Bizkit, because they went fucking huge really fast. I think there's a big insurgence at the moment of bands coming out of Scotland. I think we're going to suddenly, I think they're all going to start, we'll see them a lot more. It's just a case of them getting out of there, getting themselves known a lot more, which I'm more than happy to do, man. So if you're from Scotland or anywhere, man, just fucking email me, FYMReacts@gmail.com. Happy to get you on. I think there's a big thing as well with, I don't like to say the term female-fronted bands because I know some people get offended by that. Don't know why, because if you're in a band and you've got a female singer, it's a female that's fronting your band. That's how it is. But there is a big insurgence of that at the minute. So things like, Spirit Box, Dream State, Ginger. I'd fucking love to see them all on one tour, man. That'd be fucking brilliant. I know there's so many other bands with female vocalists, man, but I think that maybe a lot more are going to start coming out. That'd be really cool, man, because it's great to see a lot of the women, being fucking what I would say they're fucking up there, man. Not like it used to be. Just because you're in a rock or a metal band doesn't mean you have to be a dude, man. They can fucking rock the shit out of it. And what are they called, man? I Saw the World Burn, man. Katie, she's got a fucking set of pipes on her. Did a show with them quite a long time back now, but they were fucking amazing live. Really cool bunch of dudes as well. If you've not seen I Saw the World Burn, man, go and check them out. Let's have a look. So, Chris also asks me, what's been the most noticeable pros and cons I've experienced since starting the channel and the gathering? I think the thing is, I like to try and please everybody. And sometimes I probably put out too much content in a day and then get tired. But I just love it, man. Cons. Can't really see any cons about it, man, really. I mean, some people might say it takes up a lot of your time and you don't really have much time to do anything else and it's all that you do. But I do it for the reason that I love music. I'd say the only con really is just not being able to please everyone, man, because everyone that drops a request, you know, every now and again I might get a comment after someone's dropped a song, maybe like a day before, and they'll ask me why I haven't done it yet. They're like, you know, is it on its way, man? I asked for this song yesterday. The thing that everybody needs to remember is, man, I've got songs which have been sat in the request playlist for like over 2 months, and it's all done completely randomly. But everything that I do with it, everything that the Facebook group brings, everything that the YouTube brings, it's all a massive positive thing in my life, man, and I absolutely love it. Definitely the pros are all the people that I've been able to connect with. I've like got chatting and met one or two really, not one or two, a fucking shit ton, man. Really awesome people. And I say to them all the time in the group, if we all lived in the same place, that would literally be life just fucking perfect for me. I would absolutely love it. And I do hopefully plan to, you know, get over to all these different places and meet a bunch of you all at some point. It's going to take a long time, man, but I would love to do that. And he also asks, what styles of artists have I found myself really enjoying that a younger you most likely would never have given a second listen? Despised Icon, man. If I'd have heard Despised Icon when I first got into metal, I wouldn't have fucking hated that. That was like really on the really brutal end of the spectrum for me. Infant Annihilator, I do enjoy listening to them from time to time. A lot of the crazy stuff that you guys put in, like, do you call it slam? I think it's called, when it's just, you know, that sort of stuff. I'd have never enjoyed that at a younger age, but I do now. And what else is there? There's some, like, a lot of lighter stuff that's coming. Like when I first started listening to like new metal and stuff, I was like, if it's not heavy, I don't like it. I was a knob, man, proper knob. I would only listen to like one specific thing. So yeah, there you go, man. Now my boy Matthew Sipecar, and I'm going to say this because he fucking loves it when I say this, but the dirty slag asks me, are your cats going to give their opinions on this whole music thing going on here, or will you silence them? They've already been put out the fucking door, man. They were being idiots chasing a fucking fly at the window before, so I'm afraid their opinion counts for absolute bollocks. And Jess doesn't have any anyway. Okay. The beautiful Monsi. She asked me countries I would like to visit and why. Obviously Chile, because that's where Monsi's from. I'd absolutely love to meet you one day, Monsi. I think you're fucking awesome, as are the majority of the people who speak to me on a daily basis. So yeah, Chile's one. Basically, anyone that's in the fucking group that are really fucking awesome, I would love to go. For me, it's about going somewhere where the people are awesome. Obviously, Australia. Always wanted to go to the USA. One of my sort of like bucket list things that I've always wanted to do is to go to Area 51. Obviously, you can't actually go in Area 51 because it's a fucking military base. But I've always wanted to get as close to Area 51 as you can before, like the like what is it, like the guards turn up or something, and you know, I just want to get to that point and you know to say that I've been there. Roswell is another place I want to visit. I'm fascinated by UFOs and aliens and paranormal and stuff like that, man. So all the like famous hotspots in the US, like that'd be if I could have like a holiday for like a month and go and visit all of these different places. You know, even if it was just in the US, I'd fucking love to do that, man. So the only places I've really visited, I've been to Spain, Portugal, Canary Islands, sort of standard places that British people go on holiday when you were growing up. Obviously Belgium, went to Belgium with my band about 2 months ago, was it? That was really good. Fucking loved it there. There's so many places, man. It's but in terms of I used to just want to go to visit places just because, you know, they've got cool things there or they're generally beautiful places. Whereas since I started doing this, I want to go and visit places because of the people that are there. There's so many people in the Facebook group, man, that I get chatting to, and I would just absolutely love to spend a week just like hanging out with them, getting to know them more. And it's a shame, even if everyone was like, oh, we all live in this one place, I'd fucking just get everyone together and just have an awesome time for like a week. I can just imagine like having a really cool beach party with everybody and just having some beers, man, and just having a chill, talking about music and life and just enjoying it, man. That'd be perfect for me. Like literally my dream is to meet all of you guys. Some people might be like, that's a pretty lame dream, man, but it is. If I had all you guys as friends in like my everyday life, like who I could actually go and hang out with, it'd be amazing. You guys are some of the most amazing, beautiful people I have ever met, and I'm so thankful to have you as part of my life. Matthew asks, favourite American food? If I've got a favourite American food, man. American food? I don't know, man. I don't really know what you class as American food, really. McDonald's, suppose. It's alright. Kentucky Fried Chicken. That's fucking sweet, man. There you go, Matt. Hani Singh asked me my favourite Indian food. Indian food isn't something I really have too much, man. And, you know, the curries I will have eaten won't be authentic Indian. So I don't really feel I could comment on that properly without having visited and tried it properly. Now we've got some jokey ones. Rohit asks, how many times have you had sex? This week, fucking none, man. Like, the most action my house sees is when the cats decide to try and fucking get it on, man. It was much better years ago, man. This face used to be a lot better. Not so great in my later years. Later years, I start making myself sound I'm fucking 80, man. I'm only 32. Rohit also asks, what category do I like in porn? All of it, man. It's all great. It's all good. And that's it, man. So thank you very much, guys, for tuning in and people asking questions and stuff. If anyone has any more questions that they'd like me to ask, like me to answer even, feel free to drop it in the comments, and I will happily do another one. Or if you have any ideas for anything else you'd like to know, any Q&A sessions for me to do, I'd be more than happy to get on it. But thank you very much for joining me, guys. Now you might get a video today, a reaction video. I am not too sure. I can't remember what time I'm working tomorrow, so it all depends. I'll try and get you at least one out for later today, but I've got a little bit of work that I need to do before then. But thank you very much for joining me, as always. I look forward to seeing you all soon. And come over to the Facebook group, man. If you want to get involved with stuff like this even more, the link's in the description. I'd be happy to welcome you over. I tell you this in every video. I just like to get involved with you all as much as possible. All right, guys. I'll catch you in the next video.